I think your exact word was spent casings.
Correct.
What does that mean?
Yes, so it's the exterior metal jacket that falls off or protrudes off after the projectile cycles through the fire.
That is, if you have a bullet, the back end of the bullet, correct?
Correct.
And the reason you tested it for DNA was because there are times where you can get the DNA of a person who puts the bullet into the gun, correct?
That's correct.
And nobody has the same DNA.
That's correct.
You don't know any of the results, but that's why you test it for DNA in the cases, correct?
That is correct.
Now, you also indicated that you went to an apartment. I think it was located at 5700 Toscana Place, apartment 307.
Correct.
You knew before you went in, did you not, that that apartment was rented to Jameson Francois.
I would have to refer to my report. I don't recall.
Okay. You mentioned, and I'm going to get to it in a second. You mentioned that you went there pursuant to Detective Moretti's request, I believe, correct?
That is correct.
And that he had a warrant to search that residence.
That is correct.
Let me show you. May I approach, this, show this witness a document?
What, has it been marked? Is it marked or is it
It's not marked.
statement of objection? Go ahead.
Let me show you, may I approach you? May I show you a document? Let's see if this refreshes your recollection now. Point two.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
no problem. Does that refresh your recollection as to whose apartment that was?
Yes, sir.
Whose apartment was it?
Francois,
Jameson Francois.
Jameson Francois.
And you met a young lady by the name of Adria Scott, I believe.
Yes.
That turned out to be his wife, correct?
I'm not 100% sure about the relationship between you.
And you mentioned in Mr. Francois' apartment, there was a letter that was addressed to this young man, correct?
That is correct.
And that letter was addressed to this young man at a different address, correct?
I do not recall.
May I approach the witness to see if that refreshes the recollection?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does that refresh your recollection?
Yes, it does.
The letter you found in Mr. Francois' apartment was addressed to this young man at a completely different address, correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
You also found in Mr. Francois' apartment a storage key, right?
Yes.
And some ammunition, correct?
Correct.
.40 caliber ammunition.
Correct.
As a result of finding this key to this storage unit, you eventually went to that storage unit to search, correct?
Correct.
And that storage unit was owned or rented to Francois and Jameson Francois and his wife, Scott, correct?
That is correct.
In that storage room owned by Mr. Francois and his wife, you found, did you not, 3 holsters?
That is correct.
You found some gun locks in there?
That is correct.
Did you find any guns in the storage unit that was owned by Mr. Francois?
No.
Do you know if anyone questioned Mr. Francois where the guns were?
I wouldn't know that.
That's not your job.
Correct.
Can I have one moment, Chuck?
Yes, sir.
While they are taking a moment, let me give a big shout out to Maggie, the substitute teacher. Shout out to Maggie. She has just sponsored the video. God damn. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Maggie. Maggie with the $101 cash app. Thank you. Guys, listen, Maggie is one of our own Black content creator here on YouTube, but she's trying to get to TV. All right. And we are trying to send her there. She is in a contest with like 1,000 people or whatever. It's like 100 of them. And she is in #1. She is in first place to get on the Food Network. Let us get her out of here, man. We all at YouTube. We all low level. Let's push her up. Let's get her on to bigger and better things. Please, please, please vote for Maggie. The link is in the description. It's in the description. If Maggie, if you can hear this, you go ahead and drop it and I'll pin it to the top. Thank you so much, Maggie, for sponsoring this. All right. Thank you as well to Maine. Shout out to Maine One, a new jewelry member. Thank you so much. Shout out to all the new jewelers, and my man Maine One is the latest to come on into the jewelry room. Come on into the grand jewelry room and let's talk about things. Also, thank you so much to By James Lewis. All right. And shout out to E. Capone as well, supporting your boy. So everybody go over and vote for Maggie. She is in first place thanks to you guys. Let's keep going. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep her in first place. Let's get her, let's raise her up out of these YouTube drags, man, and get her on TV where she belongs. All right. Thank you so much, Maggie. Super appreciative. All right, let's get back to it. Let's see what this lady talking about.
And did I hear you correctly that you are in the Navy?
I work for the Naval Criminal Investigative Service.
Are you part of the military?
No, I'm not.
Shout out to Jenny Page.
Houses like you deserve anything.
Ooh.
Investigator Curry, you mentioned you found some holsters. With
Yes.
regards to the holsters, was there a back strap included?
Yes, there was.
What type of back strap was it?
I would need to refresh on that.
We're looking at your property receipt of the recovered items, I'll refresh your memory.
Yes.
Shout out to Cass. Cass, I'm gonna get on Rumble in the afternoon.
Has your memory been refreshed?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for asking us.
Looking at the property receipt, ask you again, what type of back straps were found?
Block.
Nothing further.
This witness excused?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's get
Thank
her off
you.
the stand.
Want to step down, ma'am, you're excused.
Let's find somebody exciting.
Councilman, call your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The state calls Deputy Raymond Maycock.
Let's put Jenny Cakes on the stand. Oh my God, they got more bags. More bags. Y'all remember how loud those bags were yesterday? It was crazy. Oh, look what we got. Look what who we got doing the questioning? We got our girl doing the questioning. I think this is going to be our first time checking her out.
Good morning, you are. Welcome. These are our witness stand. When you get there, what I'd like to do is just remain standing for a bit. Raise your right hand and be sworn.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony which you give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your full legal name for the record.
Raymond Maycock Jr.
Please spell your first and last name for the record.
First name RAYMOND. Last name MAYCOCK.
Thank you, sir.
Please have a seat. That microphone, adjust up or down, not back and forth.
Yes, sir.
Ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Council, you may.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you introduce yourself to the jury with your name and where you're currently employed?
Good morning. My name is Raymond Maycock. I'm currently employed at the Broward Sheriff's Office in the Central Integrity Division.
And what's your title?
I'm a deputy, detention deputy. I'm sorry.
And how long have you been employed by BSO?
I've been employed for 6 years now.
As a detention deputy?
Yes, ma'am.
And where
Where is Keita at? Keita, you better shoot your shot at this dude because you were shooting your shot at the white dude.
And what are your
If you're going to shoot your shot at the white officer, I need to see you up here supporting the brothers. Keita, goddamn color.
Does that processing include fingerprinting?
Where you at, Keita G?
In and out of the jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what is that? I'm gonna turn your attention to February 13, 2019. What does that entail when an individual comes in?
When
Don't
an
let it
individual
plug
comes
in.
in, I fingerprint them, take the first shot and process all the arrested.
Oh my God.
And during the course of your normal duties as a detention deputy, did you come into contact with the defendant Jamell back on February 13th of 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did you come into contact with him?
In the processing area.
And what was your role in processing the defendant?
My fingerprinting.
And similar to your general duties, you would have processed him, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Showing the witness was previously shown to defense counsel as ACU for identification.
See, when it's a brother, when it's a white dude, Keita's like, oh, he's so cute. But when it's a black dude, when it's a brother, Keita like, oh, he cute, but he need a lineup.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, always finding fault with the brothers.
And what is your CCN?
It's a working fee.
Is that unique to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this in the same or substantially the same condition as when you last took it back on February 13th of 2019?
No, ma'am.
What's the difference?
I took the fingerprints on an electronic monitor.
And does BSO then store that electronic document in their BSO system?
Yes, ma'am.
Other than that, any change?
No, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves into evidence what was pre-marked as State's U, the state's next numbered exhibit.
The objection
No objection.
will be admitted.
Also, guys, Webby Girl just voted for Maggie. Webby Girl says it's easy as hell. Everybody go vote. It's pinned to the top and in the description. Pinned to the top. Everybody vote right now. Let's get Maggie on TV.
No, ma'am.
Do you see the defendant Jamell Demings in the courtroom?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you point him out by an article of clothing and his location in the courtroom?
You see this on my right hand side, has on a sweater and a suit jacket.
Is that the individual that you fingerprinted back on February 13th of 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing further, sign on.
Is there any cross-examination?
Just briefly.
What happened? What happened? Oh, they're doing a sidebar. Man, that girl is pale, boy. That attorney is pale to death. But yeah, everybody go vote for Maggie. And when you vote, do like Webby Girl and say I voted. Man, everybody, you know, shout out to Keita G. Uplifting the white race, telling the black men we need lineups. You know, let's support our sister, let's support our people and get them on to bigger and better things. Let's really support Maggie and get her on TV. What is going on? All right, let's do some TiVo action because they fucking around.
The
Oh.
state calls Anger Allen.
What is going on with the feed? Oh, what's going? I know they ain't cut the goddamn feet up over there. It's good that we TiVo in this so we can fast forward through the bullshit, but we're gonna run out of TiVo in like 10 minutes. So thank y'all for voting for Maggie. All right.
Right here that I'm pointing to,
Yes.
those markings.
8. So in your analysis step,
What's the first thing that you're doing when you have states 26 and 27?
I'm looking at the quality of the prints that we're seeing.
And are you using any tools to assist you in this process?
Yes, we use a 4-power magnifying glass.
And in this particular case, when you completed your analysis stage, was it sufficient for you to move on to the next phase?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and the next phase you identified as the comparison phase.
Yes,
What does that phase entail?
that's when we look for details and minutia.
Okay, and what specifically, which exhibit are you looking for the minutia and detail in?
The evidence,
So in front of you, if you can identify for the record state's number on the back,
DB,
which is now in evidence, it says 27. It's 28, my apologies, 28. So you're looking for minutia and detail. Why is that important?
because that's how I am able to determine whether it's quality enough for me to make an actual comparison.
And was states 28 of quality value for you to compare and make a comparison in this case?
Yes, it was.
And we move on to the next stage at this point, the evaluation phase.
The evaluation is where, once I make a comparison and I determine that it is enough or not enough detail for me to make a conclusion, and that is when I do say yes, that it's either source identification or non-ident, or if it's inconclusive, well, I can't make a determination.
Okay, so there are a few options in every case, right? So you have source identification, you can exclude it, or it's inconclusive.
Correct.
Now, at this particular stage of comparison phase, what did you determine in this case?
That it was source identification,
Okay, and what was that based on?
that these two set of fingerprints were from the same source.
So states number 27, is that correct? And states number 28 are from the same source,
Yes,
meaning that the fingerprints that you compared are of the same source.
yes.
And what about the V stage, the verification stage?
Verification stage is where I give my paperwork to another analyst for them to do the technical verification of the work that I did.
Okay, and after, and before your verification step, you indicated earlier that there's some markings on the document. Are those markings, when are those markings made?
When?
Yes.
When I do my report.
So throughout the evaluation stage, before the verification stage, you're making those markings.
Correct.
And so when you're completed with the verification stage, do you formalize your opinion or your determination in writing?
Yes,
And that's placed on a report?
yes.
Your Honor, a moment to confirm. Your Honor, can I retrieve the evidence from the witness?
Yes.
and at this time, the state's requesting to publish states 27 and 28.
You may.
Publishing states 27.
Excuse me, Garrett.
Try to zoom in. And you should be able to see it in front of your screen, but states 27 You indicated the markings. Are those at the top left right here that I'm pointing to?
Yes,
Those markings that you've made?
yes,
Now publishing states 28. And the markings that you refer to in states 28, are those here that I'm pointing to on the bottom right?
yes,
And you indicated that the source of the identification on states 28 and on states 27 were the same source.
yes.
Councilman Burden.
Councilor Zink, cross-examination.
I have nothing.
This witness excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may step down. You're excused. Councilman Corey, next witness.
Under this time, we will be publishing additional, video from state 7, and we'll be doing a very good
Actually, there's some additions added as well. Your Honor, pursuant to public records, I'm moving to evidence that was pre-marked as state CC as the next state's number exhibit. I've
Sorry,
previously
counsel.
shown it to council.
Is there any objection?
We're looking at some evidence that they're trying to get into. They're looking at some information they're trying to get into evidence.
Sorry, Your Honor, 1 second.
This is the beauty of TiVo. With our brother Melly. Shout out to the beautiful LaShane. All right, prosecutors, let's go. Let's do something now. Talk to us. Says he's 5'8", but doesn't have his weight on there. He's a slight young man, but don't get him angry. Do not get him angry. All right, what are we doing, guys? Y'all like French manicures? Women love them. I just can't get, it's like, especially on the feet, man. If you want to have them on your toes, fine. I mean, on your fingers, fine. But on your toes, I just can't really. I don't know, man. I don't really like it. Denver says, yeah, I like French manicures, but not those. Yeah, shout out to Black Panther, man. I'm with the white though. You want to do a white, you want to do a red, but French manicure, I like hard on the toes. Unless that's not a French manicure, that's a mess. Shout out to N. Allen, man. Me and N. Allen's in the same way about it. It done showed this man whole driver's license, whole DMV records. You want to talk about a doctor? They like you. We gonna execute you anyway, so it don't matter if people know where you stay. Yeah, shout out to Stacey. I'll do a classic pink too. Pink, red, really a lot of the pastels, you know.
Channel 1, October 26, 2018, time on video 0208. Channel 1, October 26, 2018, time on video 21111.
And shout out again to Keita G for voting so heavily for Maggie. Keita G will stand up for the sister. She will. She will. Keita G stands up for the sisters and the white boys. So that's where Keita G at. She with the sisters and with the white boys. Come on, prosecutor. Show me your body. Show something. Let's go.
2018, 217, 43.
Okay, here we go. I'll take it, Keita. Shout out to Keita. I'll take it there, goddamn it. Oh, this is the camera right outside the car. This is the camera right before they all get into the car. This is another angle. Okay, I recognize this. We just don't see the car, but they're about to get into that faithful car. Faithful. That's exactly right, Kimberly. Shout out to Kimberly M, man. That's the thing. For most of us, our
Channel
last day on
3,
this earth, we don't know
10/26,
what's our last day.
2018, 211.
Shout out to Classy Beats for voting for Maggie. Thank you so much, Classy Beats.
Channel 3, 10/26/18, 217.34.
Which one was is that him? Which one was Melly?
Channel 3, 10/26/18, 219.35.
Shout out to CN. Yeah, shout out to Deactivated
10/26, 2018, 220.07.
Did y'all see which one was Melly? El Hombre Negro says Melly is the one with the purse. That's not Melly, is it? That wasn't Melly. Was it? Melly's only 5'8".
10/26, 2018, 221.28.
See, that dude has a purse, but that's not Melly, is it? This nigga just stay walking back and forth. If I see somebody around me walking back and forth in and out of a house like that, I'm like, man, I'm about to die. I'm about to die. Something's going on. Why are you doing all that walking in and out of doors?
10/26, 10/26/2018, 02/28/38. Ten 2018, 2/11.
All right, which one is Melly? Which one is Melly? That's not Melly, right? First one is a no. Let's see if we can spot him. Dan said he's rocking the Joker pants.
Channel 4, 10/26/2018, 2/17/43.
Now, neither one of those has a purse. Is that him? No. Which one? Oh, is that him? Walking like he got a gun in between his thighs. Was that him? No. That was Juvie, because Juvie got in the front. That's not Melly. Is that Melly? That might be Melly, I guess. Is that Melly? What's Melly wearing? No, that ain't Melly. Is that him? Yeah, that's him. If you sit in the back, yeah, that's Melly. That was him, right? He about to murder everybody in that car. Boy, a murderer can be right behind you sometimes. You don't even know. That was him, guys. That was him in the back, yeah, in the driver's back passenger seat for the gray car. Melly was sitting on the driver's side passenger seat, right behind the driver. For y'all ain't see it. Let's go back. This him right here. This him. You already know what he got in the purse. Because there's one dude Bortland is already in the driver's seat. He goes and sits right behind Bortland. And let's see the two dudes that he shot. So who goes and sits in the car? Let's see who sits in the passenger seat of the
Channel
gray
4,
car.
10/26/2018, 2/17/43.
Those are the dudes that are gone. Oh no! All right, so he in the front passenger seat. He's a goner. Boy, that's a dangerous seat. You want to talk about a hot seat? Shout out to the damn mastermind. That's a hot seat right there. And then who else goes and sits in there's Melly. God damn. Oh, and then here come dude. Oh yeah, that's the dude with the jacket. The dude right here that's walking with the jacket. The forensics showed all the bullet wounds in that coat. I mean, he shot straight through that coat. Oh man. Melly put the gun right to this dude's chest and shot him up. That's a dangerous car to sit in, boy. God damn. That dude right here, he's like, man, I ain't getting no seat, man. He looking in the cars. He like, man, I ain't getting no seat. That's fucked up. He don't even know. He don't even know how lucky he got. Did y'all see him looking around? Look at him. He's like, man, I'm gonna get me a seat over here. He was like, oh, well, wait a minute. He looking around. He's like, yeah, I can't get no seat nowhere. He looking in the car. He's like, oh man, I'm assed out. He don't even know how lucky he got. He's like, I'm gonna take my ass back into the studio, man. I got some more beats. I got some more beats to work on. I'm gonna lay down this track. They ain't got no seat for me at the table. Oh, sometimes, man. Who remembers 9/11 when people were like, I missed my flight? Boy, you want to talk about a day to miss your flight, a morning to miss your flight. So many people miss their flight on 9/11. They don't even know. I mean, they know now, but.
Channel 4, 10/26, 2018, 02, 21, 37.
Damn.
Channel 4, 10/26, 2018, 02, 28, 54.
Shout out to Kenneth. Thank you so much, Kenneth Williams. Kenneth says, what's up, fam? I just donated 50 for Maggie. Can't wait to see you on that TV screen. Man, thank you, Kenneth. You are really supporting Maggie, man. If y'all want to vote for Maggie, it is pinned to the top. And also the first thing in the description, we are trying to get her on the Food Network. Man, y'all know YouTube ain't about shit, man. We stuck here, but we trying to get one of our own on the bigger and better thing.
Channel 6, 10/26, 18, 02, 10, 56.
Donating 50 for Maggie, that's huge. Huge. Boy, they got cameras
Channel
all up
6,
in that
10/26,
bitch.
18, 02, 11, 28. Channel 6, 10/26, 2018, 02, 17, 33.
Shout out to CLE. CLE know about it, man. CLE know about it. Our man Melly sent his friend his location to pick him up. The friend got the location. The friend hit Melly back. The friend was like, hey, are you good? Melly was like, man, I did that shit. What? I did that shit. Come on, Melly, man. Shout out to CLE. CLE know what the deal is. Sometimes it's all about contact. Shout out to all the fellas, man. When it's late at night, you're like, shit, man, go and pick up that phone. You go on and text old girl, you be like, hey, what you wearing? She like, what? What you wearing? I'm trying to see something, boy. I'm trying to see something. What we talking about? Our man Melly said I did that shit.
Channel 6, 10, 26, 2018, 02, 19, 37.
19th letter said, no. He wasn't saying he did that shit like the murder. 1911, he was like, I did that shit in the booth, Lee. I laid down in tracks in the booth. I did that shit. I was like, yay up in there, man. I did that. I was talking about the booth, Lee, not about the murders. Okay, 19. We'll see. I mean, you could be right. It's ambiguous. We got some defenders in here, boy. We got some lawyers for our brother Melly. I laid them tracks down, Lee. That's what I was talking about, nigga. I was talking about them tracks.
Channel 6, 10, 26, 2018, 02, 21, 28.
Shout out to Sean. Sean says, where's the link to vote? The link is everywhere, pimp. It's pinned to the top of the chat. So you can look up at the chat. It's pinned right there. It's also in the description. It's the first line in the description box. So it is everywhere. We are really trying to support our system. Thank you so much for looking for it, Sean, because we're really trying to get our sister on to television, man.
Channel 6, 10, 26, 2018, 02, 22, 42.
Somebody calling from Ireland.
Channel 6, 10, 26, 2018, 02, 24, 29.
All right, we're going to take advantage of our TiVo powers because walking in and out of doors. Thank you so much, M. Rose. Cindy says, is it a Florida practice to pronounce right when asking a question? this is not just Florida. This is everywhere. Attorneys do this all the time. It is not necessary. Great attorneys, if they have read the cross-examination Bible, we do not do this. But probably, God damn it, somebody from Dublin keeps calling me. Are one of y'all in Ireland? Stop calling. A lot of attorneys ask me, like, you were in the studio, right? And you were with 4 dudes, right? And then y'all all got into a car, right? And then y'all were driving down Florence Street, right? And then y'all took a left on Tropicana, correct? You know, they'll throw a correct in there to change it up. But it's so unnecessary. But it's not just Florida. Attorneys all over the country do that on cross. And it's once you hear it, you cannot unhear it. If you don't hear the right, if you don't pay attention to it, if you didn't notice it, then you don't hear it. But once somebody points it out to you that they're always saying right, it's like, oh, stop saying right, just ask the question. Dead Space Gaming says, isn't that leading? That is leading. Are you allowed to lead on cross-examination? In fact, when you're on cross-examination, 100% of your questions should be leading. They all should be leading. But you don't need to say right to make the question leading. Great question today.
Channel 7, 10, 26, 18, 02, 28, 48.
Demon King. Shout out to Keita G. Keita G says right is the new that is exactly right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short recess. Do not discuss the case. Don't form any opinion about the case. Come in our audience and discuss the case.
All right, let's see, man. We're running out of TiVo, man. We're running out of TiVo. Oh, we got a little bit. Oh, we out. God damn it, we out. We are out. So what do y'all think? I don't know how long this thing is going to be. I'm the conspiracy. They've kicked the attorney off.
So that's what the jury's going to need, you know, but it is just not looking good. It is not looking good.
What do you think the final result's going to be? You think guilty or not guilty?
Yeah. I don't see him. I don't see him getting away on this one. I mean, just the evidence that they talked about on the opening statement. I mean, sure, we've got to see it all flesh out. But when you start talking about, you know, the ballistics that all came from the back seat, unless they have a way to disprove that, which is going to be unlikely. That ballistic shows, hey, it's coming from the back seat, not from the outside of the vehicle, all these things. So you already dead to rights on that one, you know.
Yeah,
so.
And the fact that one of the boys' faces had gunpowder on it. You know, I mean, it's like you don't really get gunpowder on your face from a drive-by like that, right? If you're in two different cars.
I'm just wondering, you know, was it Melly or Melvin that came up with the game plan? You know,
right? It was definitely Melvin. Melvin's a fucking killer. He's not that smart, but he's a goddamn killer.
and they might have both been putting input on the crime, and that's probably where it was. They had too many hands in it, you know.
Yeah, man.
You know, but Melvin might have been the old head. You know, somebody said he was about a 56-year-old white man. So, You know, ain't no telling.
No telling. That is
You know, I was
exactly right.
cracking up, but you know, for real, I appreciate you bringing me on. You know, I want to tell you, you know, I started my little own channel, and I shouldn't say little. You
Awesome.
know, I hate when people downplay their stuff and say little, but I appreciate all the info and all the nuggets that you've put out there for me and a lot of other people to get, you know, their channels going. I truly appreciate it. I really do. And then the love you give to the military. You know, I'm also, you know, a 27-year veteran myself, but
27 years.
that's it. That's it.
Golly. And what
That's
branch?
it. I was in the Army.
In the
I was in the Army.
Army.
Yeah. You know, my wife and I were both on our second marriage, but you know,
Mhm.
no.
You got to be an athlete or an entertainer when he's fucking only
186 Avenue.
That is due to budgetary reasons.
And that's fine when you're in your 20s. You got to grind, and maybe even in your 30s. Some of these attorneys are in their 40s minimum, 50s, 60s. If you're that old, why are you still in these rooms for money if you don't want to be there? Guys, I mean, you know, I'm in a room too, but it's my fucking house. I'm chilling. I'm just with you guys when I'm in my house.
And within that, you are taught how to respond to crime scenes, how to observe crime scenes, how to observe evidence on crime scenes, and how to properly document and preserve those pieces of evidence and collect them.
Are you trained specifically in areas such as photography?
Yes.
What types of training and experience do you have in photography and documenting crime scene?
During the associate's degree, I went through a particular class that was geared towards forensic photography, and that was aside from the main forensics degree program.
For forensic photography, what type of equipment do you use?
You use a digital camera, a external light source typically to better illuminate the pieces of evidence. That would be a flash, and that's about it.
I want to go to October 26th of 2018. Did you have an occasion to be involved in a Miramar police case investigation under case number 18-10-06269?
Yes, it is.
At that point, where were you employed?
At the city of Miramar District.
What was your role in that case at first?
I was requested to respond to the Broward County Medical Examiner's Office to observe the autopsies that were executed there, and also to process one of the decedents, and then later on to process the vehicle that was involved in the crime scene.
So at the medical examiner's office, can you describe to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury where that's located?
Is located in Dayton. I do not have an exact address, but
Is it within the city of Miramar?
yeah, it's not.
So after you left the medical examiner's office, did you return to the city of Miramar?
Correct.
You indicated you helped in processing a vehicle.
Correct.
Did you take photographs while you were processing that vehicle?
Yes, I did.
Approximately how many photographs did you take?
I believe it was around 422.
Prior to coming into court today, did you have a chance to review a much smaller selection of those 422 photographs?
Yes, I did.
Are these showing you what's been marked as states D for identification?
Thank you so much, Dale, for the cash app. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Dale, for the $10 cash app. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout out to you, my brother.
October 26th of 2018.
They do.
Here at this time, the state is requesting as states D and as states 30 and published to the jury.
Is there any objection?
No.
So they'll be admitted as composites, is that correct?
That's correct, Your
How
Honor.
many photographs?
I have to double check on that. I believe it is 5.
States D, legally marked states 30.
I'm sorry, what number?
30.
Investigator Clark, you can touch the screen as well to indicate areas of interest. 65 photos, John.
Thank you.
Starting with photo number 1, what is this?
This is a photo identifier that we take prior to reprinting to properly show the date the photographs were taken, the case number related to it, and the type of case and the location where the photographs were taken.
What location is 2811 Southwest 186th Avenue?
That is the Miramar Police Department substation.
The next photo, what are we looking at here?
This is a piece of evidence tape that was used to seal the garage that the vehicle was kept in.
Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what is the evidence tape seal for?
The evidence tape seal, this should be explained, the seal to show that nobody has entered the premises from the time of when the investigator sealed the premises to when now I'm responding and photographing the seal.
Was the seal here at the bottom of the large doors still intact when you responded?
Yes, it was.
Moving on to the interior door. What are we looking at in this photograph?
Again, you were looking at a seal of evidence tape that was placed by the investigator prior to their leaving. And then when I arrived, I photographed the seal to show that it was still sealed on my way.
Moving on to the next photograph. What are we looking at here?
This is Detective Mark Murray reading the search warrant for the vehicle.
The vehicle in question, what is it?
It was a Jeep Compass.
Is that the same that's indicated on that photo in the red lettered writing?
Yes.
Moving on to the next photo. What are we looking at in here? And zoom in here to the hood area.
That is another piece of evidence tape used to seal the vehicle in the same way that we sealed the premises prior to a search warrant. The vehicle and all of its entries are sealed prior to the search warrant being executed.
So for example, now looking at the screen down here at the bottom of the passenger side doors, that red item, is that the same evidence tape we've been looking at?
Yes, it is.
Moving on to the next photo. What are we looking at in this image?
This is showing the front passenger side portion of the vehicle.
Moving on to the next photo.
This is showing the exterior of the front passenger side and rear passenger side doors.
Have you begun executing and searching the search warrant at this point?
No, I have not.
So what is the purpose of all these exterior outside photos?
All these are to document the vehicle, which I found it when I responded to the search warrant, and all photos are taken prior to execution of the search warrant.
So again, going to the rear door seal, was that one still intact?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And the rear trunk seal, was that one still intact?
Yes, it was.
The initials MK that are on that, do you know who those belong to?
Yes, that is Michael Kelly,
And
which was my supervisor at the time.
You read my mind as to my next question. On the back of this vehicle photo, what is the tag number of the Florida tag that was assigned?
India Echo Kilo Delta 22.
For those of us not in law enforcement, can you please translate?
IEK D22.
The India Echo Kilo Delta that you just used, what is that commonly referred to? The alphabet.
Fanatical.
Going on, what are we looking at on this image?
This is showing the driver's side exterior of the vehicle.
And going to the seals on this particular item.
Sorry, read that.
The seals right here on this particular area or item of the door, was it intact?
Yes, it was.
Moving on to the front door seal at the bottom between the front driver's door and the rear driver's door. Was this seal also intact?
Yes, it was.
As to the state of the windows of the car, had they been manipulated in any way while you were taking these pictures?
No, they were not.
Moving on to the final picture of the evidence tape here on the driver's side door by the A column near the hood. Was this evidence seal still intact?
Yes, it was.
What was the VIN or vehicle identification number of this vehicle?
3C4N JDD B2JT 198929.
The first photo that we're looking at here was now inside the vehicle. Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what you're documenting in this photo.
From here, I took photos of the exterior of the vehicle. Then the doors of the vehicle were opened up. And as is, without anything being moved or disturbed, photographs of the interior of the vehicle were collected.
So you say without being anything moved or disturbed. What do you do to make sure that you're not contaminating any of the evidence?
I wear gloves prior to each time touching the vehicle. That goes with touching my equipment, going back to the vehicle, and vice versa.
The front passenger side view that we're looking at right here. Later on are the items collected,
Yes, they are.
and we'll get to that in a little bit. With what area of the car are we looking at here in this next photo? My apologies.
That is the area between the front passenger seat and the door jamb for the front passenger door.
Next photo, what are we looking at here?
That is the front passenger side floorboard.
Damn.
Moving on here, the seats, did you manipulate them in any way before taking this photograph?
No,
Moving on into the next photograph, what are we looking at there?
those are gold caps for teeth.
What?
And so it's clear that that's a close-up photo from this rear passenger door. Is that a correct statement?
Yes, that's
He's in the damn.
When we're looking out this rear passenger door, what are you documenting in this particular area?
I'm documenting the interior of the rear passenger door and the door jamb for the rear passenger door, as well as the seat and the floorboard of the rear passenger.
Moving on to the next image, what are we looking at in this photo?
That is a spent projectile.
So I'm gonna go back a photo. Is that the same projectile that is down here?
Yes, it is.
Damn, that bullet went straight through him.
Going forward again, what are we looking at in this image?
That is the rear passenger side floorboard and the items that were found there.
Continuing to the next photo, what are you documenting in this image?
In this image, you can see the partial back of the front passenger side seat, the, again, floorboard of the rear passenger side floorboard, the rear passenger side seat, and a projectile hole that you can see defect on the seat.
And so I'm gonna zoom in on an area. Can you explain what you're talking about, the projectile hole?
Yes.
And you can use this screen to touch if you're to draw attention to certain areas.
I observed the defect in the seat. That is later on, gone into detail.
Moving on to the next image here. What are we looking at?
This is the rear passenger side seat, as well as the rear center console, and cup holders, and partial of the rear driver's side seat.
This area in the center with the two spray cans, is that how you found it in the down position?
Damn,
Yes, it is.
look at all that blood.
In this image here, can you describe a little bit about what's the
What the?
red and white plastic item on the bottom on the floorboard? What is that?
That is a plastic bag.
What are you documenting in this image?
This image shows the trunk which had been opened, and in the photograph you can see the car manual and a jacket.
Did you disturb any of the glass? Did any of the glass move when you were opening that trunk?
Not that I recall.
What are you, in this next image, I'm gonna go back one. Did you open the rear trunk to get better photographs inside?
Correct.
Is this the interior of the rear trunk lid?
Yes, it is.
Can you kind of describe to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury as to how the trunk lid is, how you're taking the picture so they can orient themselves in space?
In this photo, the orientation is standing at the back of the vehicle. The hatch trunk is opened up, and I'm looking upward at the interior of the trunk.
And so why did you take a picture of this white fuzzy stuff?
I observed a projectile defect.
Moving on to the next photo. What did you document here?
Is a yellow jacket that was found inside the trunk that I observed red stains on.
Why would you document red stains?
These are presumptively would be blood.
Did you do any presumptive testing at this point?
Not at this point.
Moving on to this next image. What are we looking at here?
This is the rear driver's side seat. From the vantage point of the driver's side door. Shows the driver's side seat, the driver's side floorboard, as well as some of the cup holders and rear passenger side seat.
Next image, what are we looking at here?
This is also another photo of the rear driver's side and cup holder.
Next image, what are you focusing on in this particular image?
This photo shows the rear driver's side floorboard, which has a Gatorade bottle, a cap, and a white plastic bag.
Moving on to the next image, what are you showing here?
In this image, this shows the interior of the front driver's side door and the somewhat of the interior of the front driver's side seat and floorboard.
Moving on to the next image here, what are you looking at?
This image shows the steering wheel, partial of the front driver's side seat, the center console, and the side of the front passenger side seat.
On the next image now, we have a little bit different. Why do you put these yellow numbers?
These numbers, at the time I called photo markers, now with my agency I refer to them as placards, so I might refer to them also as placards. But these placards show and denote items of interest that will later be collected. And it's easier to recall back to a certain item and to show where that item is.
As you're documenting and collecting the evidence, do you use these photo markers in your reports and notes?
Yes, I do.
So to go back to the photo of 1, 2, 3, 5, where did you collect the items at photo marker number 1?
Yes, I did.
Do you maintain the liquids that are inside of them when you worked at the Miramar Police Department?
I do not recall.
As to photo marker number 3, did you collect the items of evidence that were there next to photo marker number 3?
Yes, I did.
Moving on to photo marker number 6, did you collect the gold teeth that were in that pocket there?
Yes, I did.
That's a gold teeth.
Item number, item number 7, did you collect that item?
Yes, I did.
And what was that?
That was the spec projectile.
For item that's at photo marker number 8, what was that and did you collect that?
I believe that is denoting the pair of shoes. Yes, I did.
Okay. And to go to a better picture for photo marker number 9. Did you collect the item at photo marker number 9?
Yes, it is.
And what was that?
That is a cell phone.
As to photo marker number 10. Did you collect the 2 Sprite cans that were there?
Yes, I did.
Going on to the rear of the vehicle, photo markers 12, 13, and 14. Did you collect the various items listed in this photo?
Yes, I did.
Did you have help and assistance in processing this vehicle?
Yes, I did.
Who helped you?
Crime scene technician Tara Carroll.
Did you guys have a plan of attack as to how to process the vehicle?
We split up the vehicle into certain sections and each processes areas of the vehicle and collected the items that were in relation to those areas.
So it's clear to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what section were you assigned?
I was assigned to the driver's side of the vehicle.
In your report, how did you write down which side you were responsible for?
In the report, it shows that swabs were taken from the passenger side of the vehicle, which was incorrect in the report and was later shown as a correction in the primary receipts, as well as the original swab boxes that were collected on scene.
So let's stop for a second there and explain when you're collecting swabs, what are you doing?
I am using sterile distilled water and placing that onto a cotton swab and passing that over an area that in which I either believe there may be the presence of DNA, and that area is processed with the swab, then placed inside a sterile swab box, and on that swab box I notate where that item was, or what item was swabbed with the swabs.
So let's go very minute, detail by detail. First thing you do is what? When you're getting the swab in the area, swab in the area. You change your gloves. I want very precise.
Yes. I get my new pair of gloves out of the box and take the new sterile swab, open the swab packaging, and seal and sterile, and open up a new sealed container of sterile water, and that water is then placed in drop form on the top of the swab, and then the swab is then rubbed over the area in which I intend to process.
Do you ever dip the swab back into the sterile water and sort of double dipping, for lack of a better term? After you swab the area, what's the next step you take?
The swab box is opened, the swabs are put inside the swab box, then that swab box is closed, and then I notate on the swab box what items processed with the swabs.
Do you complete the property receipt at that same time?
I do not.
When do you complete your property receipt?
The property receipt is completed later on in the office, where the items then will be submitted to the evidence bureau.
When do you do your report?
The report is done following, usually when all work is done.
Okay. So in terms of the most accurate description of what that swab is of, what would that be?
The note on the swab box.
Okay. So going back to the photos, in terms of the process and the timing, when you're doing the swabs, is it before these photos, after these photos, just so the jury understands the way you process the car?
The way I process it is I remove all items that are deemed as evidence, and I remove those from the vehicle. And then prior to any other processing, whether that be latent prints, the car is processed for possible DNA, and then there to latent prints.
And to be clear, did you do any of the latent prints in this case?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Moving on to the pictures with item markers or photo markers, 10, 11, 16 here. Were those items 16, 11 collected?
Yes, they were.
Forgive me. In terms of the numbers and the item numbers, was there a time or a number that you collected 1 through 15, 1 through 20, the items, and Miss Carol collected the others?
Yes, there were.
And do you recall which specific photo markers and items you were responsible for collecting?
I would have to refer to my report.
Would you looking at your report and refresh your recollection as to that?
Yes, it would.
If I may approach that?
Yes.
Shout out to the Russian and shout out to Aaron as well. Thank you.
Items 12 through 20 were the items that I collected.
In terms of these photographs, they were all taken by you. Is that a correct statement?
Correct.
And of course, Marcella Stokes. Thank you so much,
Moving
Marcella.
on to item number 18 and 17. Did you collect those two?
Yes, I did.
19 and 20 as shown here. Did you collect those?
Yes, I did.
What are we looking at in this photo here?
This photo shows the trunk portion of the vehicle with the hatch covering the spare tire removed.
The processing here again at what location of the car on this photo, our next one?
This is the front driver's side billboard.
Okay, you have, then what photo marker is here?
19.
So what are we looking at here underneath the brake pedal?
That I believe is a spent projectile.
Is that then marked with photo marker number 24 that we're looking at in this photo?
Yes, it is.
And item number 23, the glasses case. You were documenting that? Sorry.
Correct.
On to photo marker number 25. Did you take these images here?
Yes, I did.
Photo marker 26. Did you take those?
Yes, I did.
Are these the items that were in the glove box?
Yes, they are.
In terms of this enterprise receipt that we're looking at here, does that vehicle description listed on this enterprise receipt and VIN number match the Jeep Compass that you've been looking at?
No, they do not.
And the name of the individual who rented this vehicle, was that on this enterprise receipt? On the, and not the Jeep Compass, my apologies, I'll rephrase. The enterprise receipt, did it have a name of a renter on it?
Yes, it did.
And what was that?
Jameson Francois.
I'm going to move on to the next photo here. What have you done to document the scene in this photo inside this Jeep?
In this photo, it shows trajectory rods that were placed inside of the projectile defects to show an approximate path of the projectile.
Excuse me, can we approach it?
Sure.
Sorry, I was muted. All right. While they approach on that, big shout out to Meezy. Thank you, Meezy. And man, let me just shout out the little gaming channel. God damn. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jesus. Oh my God. Thank you, little gaming channel. Always supporting your boy, man. God damn. No comment, no question, just the pure love of the game. Excellent content creator in his own right. If one of the mods could please drop the link to my man's channel in the chat. He is always supporting me, always supporting these streams that you guys are watching. We did the last trial, the Travis Rudolph trial. He sponsored the whole stream. Sponsored the whole stream. Cannot tell you how grateful I am to you, the little gaming channel, man. Always blessing me. You know, I know you a high value man. I know you got it. But just
The next photo that we're looking at, I've zoomed in. Opportunity to review them before you came into court today. Do they fairly and accurately represent the processing that you did of the items collected from the Jeep?
Yes, they do.
Here at this time, the state requesting of state E in as states 31.
Any objection?
No objection, but with the same representation that
what are we looking at?
this contains only those photos.
That is correct, Your Honor.
No problem.
They'll be admitted with that representation.
Guys, listen,
States E, Mark states 30.
they need to show us something. We can't